온수가 따뜻하겠다 한나만나 너 겨울 옮기기로 돌아온다 옮기기로 주제무 도노주노조일 사이의 그 허예 지기지기 성규제 그 무정 우견제 고그 주무 따라 삼명의 삼보다이 고제 환야하라미다 제다이진슈제 다이묘슈사라 센다마 거자다 소바대야 웬다라다 감만노마 그 삼만가바사라단 센노마 그 삼만다바사라단 센다마 가라에 소바대야 웬다라다 소바대야 웬다라다 감만노마 그 삼만다바사라단 센다마 가라샤 소바대야 웬다라다 Sendamagaloi, Swadia Vintarata, Kambando, Magasadan, Sendamagaloi, Swadia Magas, Mandavadan, Sendamagalada, Swadia Vintarando, Magasam Mandavada, Sendamagalada.
Hello everyone and welcome to JACCC's first virtual AutumnFest. I'm Tanita and I will be serving as your MC for this evening. I hope all of you are enjoying your obento tonight and placing lots of bids on our silent auction. And thank you so very much for supporting JCCCC. For those of you who remember, AutumnFest was the event our community looked forward to every year from the late 1980s to the early 2000s. It featured alfresco dining on JCC's Isamu Noguchi-designed plaza, a silent auction, and a live auction of a car out on the plaza. And of course, that delicious obento from various restaurants. For many years, our community gathered at AutumnFest to socialize, mingle, check in with each other, and to support JCCC. Let's take a moment to look back at some of our past AutumnFest images, accompanied by ukulele music and featuring our own JCCC's Chester Ike.
愛あなたと二人花あなたと二人恋あなたと二人夢あなたと二人二人のため世界はあるの二人のため世界はあるの空あなたと仰ぐ道あなたと歩く海あなたと見つめ丘あなたと登る二人のため世界はあるの二人のため世界はあるのなぜあなたといるのいつあなたと会うのどこあなたと行くの今あなたと私二人のため世界はあるの二人のため
It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the Japanese American Cultural and Community Center's first virtual AutumnFest. Co-Chair Tim Manaka and I are truly grateful to all of you for supporting the JACCC this evening. My grandfather, who was very active in the community, always reminded me that each of us has something unique to contribute. And in the sharing of our talent, knowledge, and resources, we can make a difference in our community and in our world. His words have always stayed with me and have inspired my involvement. I think all of us here tonight believe in this philosophy and also care about the future we leave for tomorrow's children. Our hope for AutumnFest is to raise $50,000, and Tim and I know that with your help, we can exceed our fundraising goal. Our AutumnFest committee exemplifies the true spirit of giving. We have 28 incredible volunteers who tirelessly worked with the staff to ensure tonight would be a great success for everyone. Heartful thanks go to Paul Abe, Joy Sakashi, Jerry Fukui, Akira Hirose, Tom Ino, Claire Imada, Atsuko Kanai, Gary Kawaguchi, Gary Masada, Nancy Matsui, Alan Miyatake, Johnny Mori, Wayne Nagao, Terry O'Lear, Lauren Ohata, Dali Oishi, Diana Ono, Joanne Sasaki, Karen Shintaku, Lisa Sujimoto, Paul Shishima, Edwin Takahashi, Carol Tanita, and David Yamahata. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank the entire JACCC staff, volunteers, and people behind the scenes who helped make this evening a success. Thank you so much. On behalf of Tim and the committee, I'd like to give a special acknowledgement to Akiko Manaka, who led the committee and supported staff in making sure our first virtual AutumnFest ran smoothly. Thank you, Akiko.
Again, welcome back to AutumnFest, which is now a virtual event. Hopefully this will be the first and last virtual event that we have. We look forward to having all of you back to AutumnFest, and as in the past years, please donate freely. As we all know, during this pandemic time, organizations such as the Center have been greatly affected from a revenue stream. I'm very proud about the past members of the AutumnFest committee that have stepped up to volunteer, but I'm even more excited about the younger generation that has also stepped up to provide their input and their ideas for us for this festive evening tonight. As you know, the Center, as well as many of the organizations throughout the community, have greatly been affected by this pandemic. At this time, again, when we look at the virtual auction, we want you to dig deep into your pockets, because remember, the reason we're here is not only to have a good time, but also to help the Culture Center keep its doors open and for us to keep prospering into the future.
Well, hello to everyone tuning into the JACCC's 2020 Virtual Autumn Fest. I am pleased to join you for today's festivities. I would like to thank the JACCC for organizing this virtual event and for bringing the community together, offering us all hope during the continuing challenge we face with COVID-19. I am told that today's event will feature Shodo, Chado, and Kado. What a wonderful way to celebrate the autumn season with traditional arts. Autumn is a beautiful season in Japan as weather cools down and scenery changes. Autumn is notable in Japan in other ways. For instance, autumn is called a season of sports, as we remember the 1964 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, which held its opening ceremony in October. Next July, Japan will host the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics and Paralympics. We look forward to hosting the Games safely to make them a great success, enjoyed by audiences worldwide. Autumn is also known in Japan as a time to enjoy books and the pursuit of knowledge. It is also called the season for an appetite because of the rice harvest and bountiful fruits, vegetables, and fish that are in season and become ingredients for delicious dishes. Autumn is also a good time to begin planning for the next year. While we cannot gather in person, today's event is a reminder that we are still connected and that our ties remain strong even as we remain apart. I would like to thank the JACCC for its role as a fixture in the community and for contributing to Japan-US friendship. I look forward to when we can once again gather for performances, lectures, and exhibits at the JACCC. I wish you all continued health and safety. Thank you.
I'm also very pleased to join you for the JACCC's 2020 Virtual Autumn Fest and hope you are all staying safe during this challenging time. During such times, the arts and cultural appreciation can offer a respite. Autumn is also known as a season of the arts. when many famous art exhibits in Japan are held. While COVID-19 has temporarily closed the art exhibits and cultural performances in the Los Angeles area, including at JACCC, I look forward to the day when they reopen. Until then, the JACCC's 2020 Virtual Autumn Fest is a reminder that we should support the arts and culture and the institutions that showcase them. Thank you very much to the JACCC and community for its contribution to the US-Japan friendship. I look forward to seeing you soon again. Please stay safe. Thank you very much.
Minasama, konbanwa. My name is Carol Tanita, and I've worked at Rafu Busan for 47 years and have also supported our community and nonprofit organizations here in Little Tokyo through benefit dances, concerts, and fundraising events. I have supported and will continue to support the JACCC because our culture, the Japanese culture, elevates and defines us through its arts, food, music, and performing arts. There is such a thirst and curiosity about the Japanese culture that we must continue to support the JACCC so they may continue presenting and representing our heritage through its workshops, programs, exhibits, as well as housing the many cultural and nonprofit organizations. It is my hope that you will join me in supporting this important and valuable cultural asset. We need you and your support more than ever. Please continue to bid on our silent auction items. There are many items, rare, antique, and vintage items to choose from, or consider making a generous straight donation to the JACCC. In advance, thank you so much for your generosity towards this worthy and valuable asset to our Japanese and Japanese American community. 感謝しております。
Hello, I'm Scott. I am the Sustainable Little Tokyo Program Director here at JACCC. If you've ever walked through our plaza, you may have seen a scraggly old tree that we affectionately call Sunny the Grapefruit tree. Sunny is about 150 years old and has witnessed the entire history of Little Tokyo and what came before us. Before Little Tokyo was Little Tokyo, this whole area was actually citrus groves. Sunny was part of the Wolfskill Orchard, which was primarily worked by enslaved Native Americans, eventually Chinese immigrants and Japanese immigrants. Sunny has also seen the development of downtown all around us. She has seen Biddy Mason, a self-freed slave and one of the first black landowners in Los Angeles, create the first African Methodist Episcopal Church right here on Azusa Street. That church eventually became home to the Azusa Street Mission, which is considered the birthplace of the Pentecostal faith. Sunny has seen Little Tokyo grow and survive multiple waves of displacement and redevelopment, and was actually supposed to be cut down in the 1980s. But JACCC and the SoCal Gardeners Federation worked together to save Sunny and move her to her current home here in our plaza. For us, Sunny is a symbol of the work that we do with Sustainable Little Tokyo. Sustainable Little Tokyo is a group of organizations and people who love Little Tokyo, who came together to create a vision of our community that maintains our history and our culture as a historic Japan town. We want Little Tokyo, just like Sunny, to not only live, but actually to thrive and bear fruit for future generations. And actually, just last month, the SoCal Gardeners Federation helped us to continue to take care of Sunny. And look! Sunny actually just produced a new batch of grapefruits. One of our favorite annual events is the historic Grapefruit Cocktail Night with Wolf and Crane Bar. Unfortunately, it was canceled this year because of the pandemic, so we wanted to have a special grapefruit cocktail demonstration to show you how to make your own grapefruit cocktail at home and to celebrate Sunny, the grapefruit tree, and our historic Japantown. So I'm gonna let Taki and Carla from Wolf and Crane take it from here.
So Scott, thank you for introducing us. Now we are going to use this Sunny grapefruit to make an actual cocktail. Hi everyone, my name is Taki Nakatani from Beam Suntory, and let me also introduce the bartender from Wolf and Crane, Carla.
Hello.
So Beam Suntory has a broad portfolio of spirit, including the whiskey, gin, and the vodka. But for today, we want to focus on the Haku vodka to make the cocktails. And first of all, let me explain what makes this vodka very special. So this Haku vodka is made from 100% Japanese rice, and it has a round, subtle sweetness. And I think that would perfectly match your cocktail. So Carla, talk to us a little bit about the cocktails you're making for us today.
Sure. So main one ingredient is going to be this beautiful grapefruit. Just smell it.
Yes.
It comes from a tree here in Little Tokyo. It's 150 years old, still alive, still making beautiful fruit. So first things first, we'll start off with 1.5 of vodka, the Haku vodka. It has like a silkiness and it's gonna pair very well with the grapefruit juice. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of the fresh grapefruit juice. Add a teaspoon of sugar that you can just grab from your cupboard at home. Easy, just 1 whole teaspoon, boom, for just a little bit of sweetness on that. And then we're gonna do a cut of fresh lemon and lime, 1/2 ounce of each. And then we're also gonna throw in a pinch of a salt that I made from home, which is lime, lemon, and grapefruit zest that you just throw in with salt. It dehydrates it and it browns and brings all those flavors together from the cocktails. Enjoy.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Taki and Carla. And with that, kanpai! The recipe for this seasonal cocktail was shared with all of you before the event, so I hope you're enjoying it now. If you've missed the recipe and want to try making this cocktail at home, please visit JCCC's AutumnFest webpage. Recently, JCCC completed the construction of its Toshizo Watanabe Culinary Cultural Center. I'm standing in the TWCCC right now. Isn't this kitchen beautiful? We cannot wait for guest chefs like Nikki Nakayama to come cook with us. Until then, bid on the Ennaka silent auction item now. Want to see more of this kitchen? Here's Andy Nakano to give you a tour.
So here we are at the TWCCC Culinary Kitchen. This kitchen was beautifully designed by the Shimoda Group and Alan Moret, who is a kitchen engineer, architect for the Patina Group. What makes this kitchen unique is the versatility. We have enough firepower along this line, plus a cooking demonstration line over here that we could feed at least 20 to 500 meals a day. And what also makes this kitchen unique is that we have enough counter space, refrigeration, which is key by Hoshizaki throughout the kitchen. I'm here with Helen Ota in the culinary demonstrations side of the kitchen here at the TWCCC. Welcome, Helen.
Thank you, Andy. It's so great to be actually behind the counter. Can you share a little bit about the TWCC, actually this particular section?
Well, this is a demonstration open kitchen to serve our programs with a lot of teaching for the community. Also, guest chef dinners, private dinners in this area, alongside with all the programs for all their cooking needs. And it's very nice to be here.
Yes, so you said a private chef event. So since you mentioned that, I just have to say that Jozu is actually offering an exclusive private omakase dinner event by a guest chef, and it'll be our first one in this space. It's in our silent auction, so I encourage all of you to bid on it because it's going to be so fantastic. And we have to say thank you to the generous donation from our very own Jozu and Andy. Yay!
My pleasure. Thank you.
We all look forward to seeing all of you in person as well when we can be with each other in our community. Our biggest strength is working together, and not being able to support one another in person has been challenging. That's why it is so important that we do what we can for JACCC to ensure that its doors remain open, because this is our home. This is our center. Every donation counts. So please continue to bid on those silent auction items. And if you've already been outbid and can't continue to bid, then please consider making a direct donation to JACCC. You can do it easily on the same platform you're using to watch this program. Just go to the silent auction section and make your donation there. And thank you. And now, let's hear from our AutumnFest Tsukimi, or moon viewing sponsor. They're longtime supporters of JCCC and well known in our community. Thank you, MUFG Union Bank, for your generous support. And let's take a moment right now to hear from them.
Good evening. I'm Yuichi Mitsumori, Managing Director and Head of Japanese Corporate Banking at MUFG Union Bank. On behalf of my colleagues at Union Bank, congratulations to JACCC on its first virtual AutumnFest. We are proud to be a sponsor of the event as well as a long-time supporter of JACCC. As we all adjust to the new normal of virtual get-togethers, including fundraisers, it has brought a new and exciting way for all of us to experience arts and culture. And I'm sure tonight's program will definitely showcase some of the very best of JACCC and Little Tokyo. Thank you, and stay safe and healthy, everyone. Happy AutumnFest.
Thank you so very much. Arigatou gozaimasu, Mr. Yuichi Mitsumori and Union Bank. Now, when you all bid on an item, you are pledging to support JCC and its work in the arts, the culture, and our community. All of your donations are vital, so please find it in your heart to continue to bid, bid, bid!
On behalf of the Board of Directors and our staff, I'd like to welcome you all to JACCC's first virtual AutumnFest. A lot of changes have happened in 2020, and I'm sure many of you, like myself, are nostalgic for lively gatherings, a special meal shared with loved ones, and seeing old friends. These were hallmarks of AutumnFest, and while remote gatherings and Zoom calls are now the new normal, we are so excited for this reunion and reinvention of AutumnFest in a virtual format. Once our doors are fully open, we cannot wait to share the many possibilities for connection fueled by culinary arts in our Toshizo Watanabe Culinary Cultural Center. This beautiful space, which you'll see glimpses of tonight, is designed to bring world-class chefs, artists, and our community together through workshops, events, and educational programs. Your generosity tonight will help ensure the TWCCC can be that beloved gathering place in the years ahead. JACCC's continued success would not be possible without you, our members and supporters. On behalf of the board members and staff, I'd like to express our sincere gratitude and say thank you for all you do to support JACCC. Thank you to all our silent auction donors, to those of you who bid on those great items, and I'd also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for tonight. This celebration would not be possible without you. I'm delighted now to introduce JACCC's Master Artist in Residence, Hirokazu Kosaka, to reflect on the spirit of autumn as shared through his poetic approach to the observation of Ma, the space between. Hirokazu, we join you now on the veranda.
We started in the early morning light on the path through rugged mountains. A young monk was waiting for us at the old dilapidated gate. My father and I met the head priest. Then the monk led me to my room. I was 8 years old. Next morning my head was shaved and I was given a list of chores to do. Once, when I was raking the yard, the head priest was changing a paper screen by the veranda. The new screen had a painting of a strange rainbow. The color was missing. I asked the priest why. He said that I would find out and just walked away. Almost 20 years has passed, and on a rare visit to my hometown, I went back to the monastery. The head priest suggested I stay at the monastery for a year, and I agreed. Early autumn came. One day, as the sun was about to go down behind the mountains, the head priest called me to have a tea with him on the veranda. When I raised the tea bowl to my lips, something blinded me. It was a color filling the bowl. I sat there in an ear-splitting silence. When I looked up, the priest was gone. The color was coming from the maple tree that surrounded the temple. At the time of the year, all the leaves turned brilliant red, and at a certain time of the day, everything is illuminated by them. The rainbow screen, the lacquer flooring, my face, and the arbor of floating wine cups.
We're in the beautiful James Irvine Garden this afternoon here at the JACCC. This is one of the many beautiful places that the center has to offer to our local community. We'd like to thank all of our participating AutumnFest restaurants that put together such beautiful bentos that all of you have enjoyed this evening. We'd also like to thank Chef Akira Hirose for helping coordinate all of these bentos together for all of us. We'd like to thank the various organizations that allowed us to use their facilities to pick up your bentos wherever it may have been from the LA, Orange County, and South Bay locations.
As Tim mentioned, we are here in the James Irvine Japanese Garden, designed by the late architect Takeo Uesugi, also known as the Garden of the Clear Stream. Although we are currently closed, you can still see a beautiful view from the north side of the Isamu Noguchi-designed plaza. The JACCC was also established to enhance friendship and understanding between the United States and Japan by encouraging a greater appreciation of Japanese and Japanese American culture by audiences of all backgrounds. Whether it's the garden, the plaza, the 880-seat Georgian Sakaya Aratani Theater, or the Toshizo Watanabe Culinary Cultural Center, each location is a gathering place for arts and culture to come alive. We would like you to experience how a garden can be transformed into an intimate concert space. Let us please welcome koto artist Saeko Kujiraoka in a special performance. Thank you.
you so much, Saeko Kujiraoka, for your beautiful and exquisite koto performance in JCCC's garden. You know what goes well with obento? Wine. For the wine aficionados out there seeking a Nikkei connection to your passion for wine, JCCC is excited to offer several wine lots that feature Japanese American and Japanese winemakers, growers, and winery owners in California. Each lot has a unique backstory of JA and Japanese heritage in the wine business. You may already know about Kenzo Estate, but you can learn more about Mikami Vineyards, Umino Vineyards, Maboroshi Vineyards, Nakai Vineyards, and winemakers Byron Kosuge, Akiko Friedman, Yasu Hayashi, and Nori Nakamura by clicking on the links on our auction site to their websites. They all generously donated lots from Francis Ford Coppola Winery, curated by advanced sommelier Rick Toyota. Please continue to support JACCC and bid on the silent auction. You can bid all night tonight into tomorrow, and the silent auction will remain open until Monday, November 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Thank you all again for your support of our JACCC.
Chado, the way of tea, is one of 3 classical Japanese arts of refinement, along with shodo, the way of calligraphy, and kado, the way of flower arrangement. In Japan, tea evolved its own aesthetic with Zen Buddhism, in particular the wabi-sabi principles. Wabi represents the spiritual, refinement, humility, simplicity, naturalism, imperfection, and asymmetry. Sabi represents the worn, weathered, or decayed. These principles are echoed throughout the ceremony, from the utensils, chadogu, to the simple architecture of the tea room designed for chado. A tatami room is considered ideal, but chado can be anywhere the host can make tea. For instance, a tea gathering can be held in a rustic Nissan pickup, as our master artist in residence, Hirokazu Kosaka, has designed.
Thank you, Hirokazu, for sharing a very unique way to experience Chado. Actually, seeing him in his truck reminded me a little of when we used to do the live auction of a brand new car at past AutumnFests. Even though we don't have a live auction this time, I hope that all of you are continuing to bid on our silent auction. As you know, we have some incredible items, and your generous donations will support JACCC and its programs. So you have tonight and all day tomorrow before we close the silent auction on Monday, November 2nd at 11:59 p.m. So keep track of your items, and as Tamlin said earlier, please continue to bid, bid, bid. We thank you for your support.
I am the newest member of the JACCC Board of Directors, Lauren Masako Ohata, and I am a practitioner of the Ohara School of Ikebana. I love Ikebana. Ikebana connects me to my culture, and in doing so, to myself. When I practice Ikebana, I practice my Japanese values of patience, hard work, and the benefits of commitment and of conviction. Ikebana reminds me to appreciate the joy and stillness, reminds me to be present in the moment, and to value the impermanence and beauty of nature. In short, Ikebana teaches me to be me. My family has been involved in the JACCC for decades. I am a past participant of the Chibike Fun Run, and I attended the last Autumn Festival held on the JACCC Isamu Noguchi Plaza. To me, JACCC is the connecting point to my culture and community. Through JACCC, we come together with our shared love and appreciation of the arts and of each other. JACCC grounds me to my heritage, connects me to you, and connects us to each other. Now, let's watch this next segment and appreciate this connecting moment together.
In JACCC's James Irvine Japanese Garden, under the beautiful harvest moon, a no play, one of the traditional performing arts of Japan. No features rhythmic musicians, chanters, and masked actors who tell stories of intrigue and mysteries handed down over generations. The mood of each performance is special since it is determined by natural conditions and interaction between performers.
Good evening. My name is Glenn Inanaga, and I serve as the chair of JACCC's Board of Directors. On behalf of the board and staff, I'd like to acknowledge everyone who supported this virtual Autumn Fest. Thank you to our co-chairs Susie Sasaki and Tim Manaka and the entire Autumn Fest committee members for your hard work in making tonight a success. I'm so impressed in how everything came together in less than 6 weeks. This was probably the fastest planning of any fundraising event I can think of in JACCC's recent history. To our incredible MC, Tamlin Tomita, thank you for taking us through tonight's program with your gracious presence and warm-hearted spirit. In addition, thank you again to our sponsors, all of our silent auction donors, Obento vendors, friends of Autumn Fest supporters, individual Obento ticket buyers, volunteers, and virtual program presenters and performers. Our deepest gratitude and appreciation to all of you for supporting JACCC, especially in these challenging and unprecedented times. Lastly, to JACCC's board and staff for your tireless efforts behind the scenes to ensure tonight's virtual Autumn Fest is a success. I'm proud to be surrounded by a talented and dedicated group of individuals, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. As we look to JACCC's future, we're thrilled to share the creative possibilities that lie ahead for all of us in the community. We are at a crossroads of culture in Little Tokyo. JACCC's new program initiative, entitled JACCC Honors, will celebrate the shared history and connections JACCC and Little Tokyo have with the surrounding communities and LA. Let's see what's going on.
こんにちは。私は国春吉田です。私は JACCC のアーティスト・イン・レジデンシーです。 そして、書道フォーリル東京というサステナブルリル東京が開催するプロジェクトの書道講師をしております。そして、今日は、秋のフェスティバルということで、JACCC のプロダクションマネージャーの孫さんとコラボレーションしますのでお楽しみください。
performance. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us all tonight and supporting our JACCC's virtual Autumn Fest, our first one. Please remember, the silent auction will remain open until Monday, November 2nd at 11:59 p.m. So you have tonight and all day tomorrow to continue to bid until you win your items. Please enjoy the rest of your evening, and we all look so forward to when we'll be able to welcome you back home to our JACCC.